দিয়েছিলে সে কথা ভুলিতে পারিব না, আমি সে কথা ভুলিতে পারিব না। তুমি এসেছিলে ধরা দিয়েছিলে সে কথা ভুলিতে পারিব না, আমি সে কথা ভুলিতে পারিব না। মধুর চাহনি, মধুর চাহনি, মধুর লাবণী, মধুর চন্দ্রিয়ানা গো। মধুর চাহনি, মধুর লাবণী, মধুর চন্দ্রিয়ানা গো। আমি সে কথা ভুলিতে পারিব, আমি সে কথা ভুলিতে পারিব। রূপের সাগরে, রূপের সাগরে ডুব দিয়ে আমি অরপরথ পেয়েছি। রূপের সাগরে ডুব দিয়ে আমি অরপরথ পেয়েছি। ভাঙা হৃদয়ে, কাঙাল হৃদয়ে স্মরণে মননে রাজার শিরোপা পড়েছিল। কাঙাল হৃদয়ে স্মরণে মননে রাজার শিরোপা পড়েছিল। তোমার নামেতে, তোমার নামেতে গাইতে গাইতে স্পন্দিত হয় সে ভাবনা। তোমার নামেতে গাইতে গাইতে স্পন্দিত হয় সে ভাবনা। আমি সে কথা ভুলিতে পারিব না, আমি সে কথা ভুলিতে পারিব না। আজও ধ্যান ধারণা, ধ্যান ধারণায় দিবসী নিশায় সার্থক মম আরাধনা। ধ্যান ধারণায় দিবসী নিশায় সার্থক মম আরাধনা। আমি সে কথা ভুলিতে পারিব না, আমি সে কথা ভুলিতে পারিব না। তুমি এসেছিলে ধরা দিয়েছিলে সে কথা ভুলিতে পারিব না, আমি সে কথা ভুলিতে পারিব না। মধুর চাহনি, মধুর চাহনি, মধুর লাবণী, মধুর চন্দ্রিয়ানা গো। মধুর চাহনি, মধুর লাবণী, মধুর চন্দ্রিয়ানা গো। সে কথা ভুলিতে পারিব না, আমি সে কথা ভুলিতে পারিব না। তুমি এসেছিলে ধরা দিয়েছিলে সে কথা ভুলিতে পারিব না, আমি সে কথা ভুলিতে পারিব না। This beautiful song expresses the feeling of remembrance, remembering the divine presence of the divinity, and also how we achieve spiritual fulfillment through our meditation. তুমি এসেছিলে ধরা দিয়েছিলে সে কথা ভুলিতে পারব না। When you came, I cannot forget that incident. I was in blissful presence of yours. Madhur chahani, madhur labani, madhur chande anagona. You swayed my life rhythmically to and fro RÚPERA SÁGARE DIPTIMANANanda RATAN CHINU. I dove deep into the ocean of forms and I found the formless jewel. 강할 হৃদয়ে স্মরণে মননে রাজার শিরোপা পড়েছিনু তোমার নামেতে গায়েতে গায়েতে স্পন্দিত হয় সে ভাবনা. As a beggar puts on a royal crown and becomes a king in his mind, likewise, by chanting your name, I became absorbed in your ideation. আজ ধ্যান ধারণায় দিবসিনিশায় সার্থক মন আরাধনা. Today, through day and night of meditation and concentration, all my spiritual effort has reached fulfillment. The theme of the song is TUMI এসেছিলে ধরা দিয়েছিলে সে কথা ভুলিতে পারিবো না. So, TUMI means you. It's a familiar form. So when you came, I became lost in you. So we can interpret it as the presence when the Guru came into the life of the disciple. It could also be when the Supreme Consciousness comes into the life of the devotee. Actually, the Guru and the Supreme Consciousness are representing the same entity. The Guru is not necessarily an external entity. The Guru is hidden within your own eye feeling. It's hidden within your own mind. And so when you become aware of that divine Guru, you feel touched. Now, it could also be that the devotee is remembering a particular incident when the Guru came into his or her life. Myself, I was graced by one such incident about 1 month after I decided to dedicate my life to become a monk and to do service to the world. So that it came in a dream, and it was such a sweet dream where I had a completely tactual experience. It was like a real experience. And finally, my Guru came and blessed me. After that dream, my mind was so high, I could hardly step the feet on the ground for a week. And I was completely blissed out for a whole week after that. And that dream has helped me always through all difficult times and good times. Whenever I remember that dream, I remember the glimpse of that divine presence. And so any such experiences are very valuable, and we have to treasure them and cherish them and keep them a sacred gem in our heart. Now, রূপের সাগরে ডুব দিয়ে আমি অরবরতন পেয়েছিনু. This world is a world of forms. The forms are beautiful, we feel attraction to them, and we are engrossed in this world of forms. The Tantric philosophy is extremely positive. It does not see the world to be necessarily a distraction to the spiritual life. Rather, you try to dive deeply into this ocean of forms, and you find that the Supreme Consciousness is hidden within. Everything in this universe is essentially made of consciousness. And when you dive deeply into the meditation, you can really find that hidden consciousness within your own mind. And when you realize it within your own mind, you have found it everywhere around you. And the whole life become extremely blissful. 강할 হৃদয়ে স্মরণে মননে রাজার শিরোভা পড়েছিনু. Like a beggar who puts on a royal crown, I likewise became absorbed in your ideation through chanting your divine name. So the name of the Lord is very meaningful. The mind functions when we give name to things. I could say, there is this thing that you can move it, and it can move up and down in different directions, and it's very versatile and very useful, and it comes out of your body, and it has some bones and ligaments, and I think some of you might be already connecting what it is. If I would say your arm or your hand, you would immediately understand what I was talking about. Likewise, the Supreme Guru or the Divine Gurus, they have given names to that infinite consciousness to help our mind to grasp that reality. When we talk about our hand, it's a simple thing. My hand is here. You can see it, you can touch it, you can move it. And we all have hands, so it is quite simple to understand. But if we are talking about something which is invisible to the eyes, which you may or may not have any experience of in your life until now, it is really hard to grasp or comprehend. And so some people say, it doesn't exist. I cannot see it, so it doesn't exist. But in the meditation, you can actually feel the presence of that Supreme Consciousness. Now, in Tantra, the Tantric Gurus, they have developed this special method of repeating the mantra over and over. So it is called auto-suggestion or outer suggestion. So by repeating the mantra, the mind becomes absorbed in the ideation of the mantra. Human beings, our lives are very much influenced by what we think, and our mental world influences our outlook in life and how we feel the life. So it is said that the mind, if you say something to the mind over and over again, it becomes a reality to you. This is something that the modern people in financial sector and in many other sectors of society have already realized. And those who realize it, they become successful. I've heard stories of people who make material goals. They want to achieve something, and they visualize it in their mind, and it becomes a reality. But here we are talking about spiritual realization. So when you repeat the mantra again and again and again, that very subtle entity of Supreme Consciousness starts to become more clear in your mind what it is. Same way, if you think, I am infinite love, I am that Supreme Consciousness, I am infinite tranquility, then gradually your mind will take a shape of that ideation. And so by ideating that you are infinitely tranquil, that you are infinitely blissful, that you are part of that Supreme Consciousness, that you want to love that Supreme Consciousness, gradually your mind starts to accept it as a reality. So in this poem, in this song, the devotee is saying, I became absorbed in your ideation, like a beggar putting on a crown becomes a king. Now the last one, Aj Dhyan Dharana Divosinishai Shartog Momo Aradhana. The Sanskrit pronunciation is Dhyan, and the Bengali pronunciation is Dhyan. The song is in Bengali. Now, Dhyan and Dharana, those are meditation techniques. Many of you may be familiar with the Ashtanga Yoga. So the Ashtanga Yoga has Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. So Dharana, it means concentration. So concentration is part of every meditation technique. Without concentration, you cannot achieve much in your meditation. And Dhyan is a form of unbroken consciousness, when your mind is flowing without any hindrance towards the Supreme Consciousness. So Dhyan is obviously a very high form of meditation, very advanced. And so it is difficult to achieve that unbroken flow of concentration until you already have developed a strong sense of concentration first. But in the meditation techniques that are presented in this channel, we use Bhavanam Kevalam mantra. So this mantra is very helpful, and it helps in a very natural way to develop the aspects of Dhyan and Dharana. And later on, if you become deeply interested in this, it is possible to learn individual techniques where each technique will focus on certain aspects of this Dhyan and Dharana. The last part of Ashtanga Yoga is Samadhi. Samadhi is when the mind is completely absorbed in the ideation of the Supreme Consciousness, and the mind itself gets suspended. In this song, the devotee is saying, "Today, my spiritual effort has achieved fulfillment through Dhyan and Dharana." So, this is a beautiful song. It narrates how to achieve that Supreme Consciousness by repeating the name of the Lord. And here the name of the Lord is the mantra. So the mantra, Bhavanam Kevalam, is very helpful. It is a universal mantra. You can sing it and you can sit down and meditate with that mantra. And other mantras are personal mantras, and those are individual mantras repeated only internally. But Bhavanam Kevalam can be sung, or it can be used for quiet meditation as well. So I encourage all of you to spend some time in meditation, and if you like to sing the song, it is also very helpful for the spiritual practice. Thank you. Namaste.